full of paleo points. Yeah, that's right, boys. I have been practicing my fluting like crazy, and it's been going pretty okay, I'd say. Could be a little bit better, but I'm definitely learning some stuff, which is good. This practice is much needed. Yeah, we should take a look at these, yeah? Let's take a close look. Yeah. What do we start with? That moth just tried to kill me. That's crazy. Let's see. Let me see here. Let's start with that big old Burlington one. Let's check out this hog right here. So this one, oh boy, where to even start? So this one was a little bit of a journey because I tried my best to do a nice consistent profile, but I had a high spot here. So it was kind of off to the side, and I'm finding that the angle at which I shoot these flakes off is very, very, very particular, because if you go off just a little bit crooked, it will go off to one side and kind of eat this off, kind of like this did. So this is actually a double flute. I set another one up right here and shot it off into here to try and take that high spot down, and you can just barely see that difference in there of the hinge where that other one went off. So this side was a double flute, which kind of ended up making the legs a little long. And this one was okay. This, again, it kind of went off to the side a little bit. I keep having that as my issue, and I've been trying to diagnose it, but it's a little weird. And this heat-treated Burlington was kind of weird too. It had this chalky section, but I was able to flute into the smoother section, and it is pretty. It reminded me of like cookies and cream. Very interesting material. But yeah, it gave us that monster flute down there. Check the size on this one. It's gonna be right at 3 1/4, and it got pretty wide at 1 1/2. And you see, I was trying to shape it down kind of into a more consistent Clovis shape, but I didn't want to eat into this flute, so kind of left that. This is just a weird one all around. I have a big staff of a wood, and I'm gonna make a big old thrusting spear. This bad boy, because he is chunky. He is chunky. This thing, I'm guessing that this thing's gonna make a nice addition to that thrusting spear. So this one will probably put on that. But yeah, real good hinge on that one. But yeah, it kind of worked. It worked okay. Not too particularly pleased with this one, but this was kind of early on, and I was still getting the ropes. For the longest time, I was self-sabotaging myself. It was so stupid. I believed the whole shebang about the paleo guys only using like direct percussion on a lot of their shaping. So I tried my best not to use pressure flaking to shape my preforms. Dumb. That is what I'm going to say, is that is just dumb, because I self-sabotage myself. Because when I started actually doing pressure, there's also no clarity on this one, I don't think. Hold on. When I started doing pressure flaking on stuff, there's just like the tiniest shred of it. When I started to do pressure flaking on my preforms, got so much better, like just so much better. Then I just started to run into the issue of trying to, shape things. And I apologize for my sniffing. My allergies are awful right now. So this is just an opaque black one. I made out of some obsidian. This one's just right about at 2 inches, 1 1/8 wide. Again, kind of ran into some peak issues where I needed to get my peak just a little bit more consistent in the center. That's like a very, very defined thing. You need to have your preform prepped really, really well. And this flute did go really dang far. It went all the way there into the tip. It like scooped way down. I'm trying to get the angle so you can see how deep it went. It really went deep into that tip there. I just wish it would have stayed wide and eaten that up, because then that would have been a nice flat flute. But it kind of did a weird thing where it went off to the side. Again, the angle at which I use my indirect percussion rod to drive these flutes really, really affects things, so you got to be very particular. But it did its best. It did okay. It fluted it. And this next one, I kind of got off to the side. This would have been a little bit better if it would have just shifted over just a smidge. But this was another pretty darn alright flute. And it ended up making this weird little, I don't know what to call this. I don't want to call it a Clovis because it has these ears. I forget which ones have those ears on them. But this obsidian was wonderful. I do like this jet black stuff. Not a single bit of clarity to it either. So, I don't know, it was pretty neat and pretty cool. But I kind of wish I had more of this stuff. Maybe I do somewhere. But yeah, another reasonable practice attempt. There's that moth again. That thing's flying around. Yeah, not too crazy, not too great. Moving on to another Burlington one. This one, I learned something as well. This first flute went pretty darn fine. That's perfectly normal. And I was able to get a real nice profile on this one. It was nice and fat and round, so that flute went nice and far. And this Burlington's a bit different because it's like super duper fine grain. And it's nice and dense. It can get really, really sharp. But on the bottom here, so this one didn't go super duper far. I have it set up perfectly. Nice ridge in the center. She just didn't take. I kind of wish it would have gone like up into here. And the reason this one didn't take is because I put the fluting nipple just a bit too shallow. So it kind of skimmed the surface and didn't really do a great job at fluting this one side. But as a whole, this turned out pretty okay. I mean, I don't like the squatty ones all too much. This one is right at 2 inches again, and just a shade under 1 1/4 wide. But yeah, I'm not a super big fan of the squatty ones, but it's good practice. I mean, if anything, I can try to make some fulsomes because I know I'm gonna have to do that eventually. But yeah, I don't know. Was there clarity on this one? I don't think so. Or translucency, sorry. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's like almost sandy in there. That's fun. Yeah, nice. But yeah, not like terribly impressed with this one, but again, really good practice. This nice little Burlington one. This next one though, I do like this next one. So this is out of some Georgetown. This one I had to do another compound flute because it shot off to the side here. So then I did another one using my precision indirect rod, and that one went right up along here, and it gave it this really cool compound flute looking profile. I like the profile of this thing in general too, but on the back, it stepped right there because I had a little bit of a dip that ran in right through there. It's kind of hard to see to get the angle just right. So it hit that dip and it didn't go. And I also had this one single big flake that kind of took it out there. So I was trying to flute this one a little thin, but that compound flute, I do like that. I do like that a lot. I just like how this one turned out. Even if it's not perfect, it's still really cool. And Georgetown is just lovely. If I had a bunch of Georgetown, I'd be practicing these bad boys like crazy. Because it's so nice. And I got it, relatively speaking, pretty thin. There's another low spot on there too. And that would have made me nervous. Again, the preform prep is like 90% of it. Because even if you have like the most perfect fluting nipple ever, it's not going to go if you don't have a good profile. But yeah, I got size for this one. That was pretty alright. Size 2. It was like 3 7/8 and like 1 1/8 wide. I think it has clarity to it. Sorry, translucency. It's in the morning right now, so I'm a bit sleepy. A little bit of that Georgetown translucency to it. Nothing super duper crazy, but cool enough. This one's probably my favorite out of the bunch. Yeah, really enjoyed doing this one just because of that compound flute. It's just sweet to me. I don't know. This looks cool. Yeah. And then we got one more. Last one. This one I try to put a lot of time into. This one, really nice profile. Like we're talking, gee, is consistent all the way through. Really had set myself up nicely for a nice long flute on it. Because this was higher, remember, because it took the height of it off. This side I messed up a little bit. Had this little dingus. I don't know how that happens. It's crazy. It's just dumb when that happens. But I was just having some issues with it, and I didn't like these low spots. And I just couldn't bring myself to thin it down more because I didn't want to snap it. Because while this flute wasn't perfect, because it kind of went wide, and then it had an angle stop on it, I still got her done. And this thing stayed really dang sharp. Like these edges where I did these big pop outs, kind of to do that flaking pattern on it, super sharp, super duper sharp. And it's, this would haft quite nicely because I did try to do some thinning flakes up into there to try and at least, make it haftable. So this one's 3.5 at about 1.5 inches wide. So this one's nice and beefy. And I'm actually going to be trading this with a dude, a real cool dude, for some other stuff, because I don't like it. I did do it out of some triple flow, but I didn't get any of the orange. I did, however, this one probably has the prettiest clarity to it. Ooh, pumping the camera. It's got all kinds of like junk in it. Those bands. It's beautiful. It really is cool. I do love how this one looks, clarity wise. But yeah, this one could have been amazing. Could have been so good if it just would have stayed straight and not had this weirdness, because I would have taken the angle up there. That would have been fine. If I just wouldn't have eaten up this section right here and it would have been straight, oh, it would have been perfect. But I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm definitely getting better. But yeah, and pretty nice and thick. It's sharp. This was the sharpest one out of the group. Let's take a look-see. Take a gander at them all again. See if I can fit them in my hand. If I can drop them all on the ground. Oh boy, this is gonna be tight. Oh boy. I have a towel down. Don't worry. Okay, yeah. It's been my paleo practice. Got some Burlington, Georgetown, and Obsidian. Gonna keep doing paleo practice. We'll see what I come up with. Again, I just want to keep practicing it because practice makes perfect. And while these are quite nice, I don't know, I feel like I could be better. Still haven't topped that one Obsidian one that I did, which was just magnificent for whatever reason. I have no idea. I don't have any idea how that works. But yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy this little paleo point showcase. I'll keep practicing them, and I'll have plenty more videos coming your way. There's an ant on me. Get off. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.